Good morning! I bet you know a lot of people who have a lot of great ideas but don't have the energy to pursue any one of them for too long. I bet you yourself are interested in some creative activity like writing or drawing, but you find yourself wasting most of your time searching in vain for inspiration. I bet you have a loved one who talks constantly about how great their life would be if only they had the energy to pursue and achieve their goals. After all, why else would you have clicked on this video? A lot of people today are frustrated because they can't accomplish all of the things that they set out to do. They sit around just wishing that some external force will pick them up and force them to do the things that they love. They know what it feels like to be swept up by inspiration, and they always hope that it'll happen again. They've been around incredibly energetic people that are always striving to reach their goals, and they wish that they too could bring around that energy wherever they go. Well, it turns out these people are searching for the wrong thing. Instead of looking for motivation, energy, or inspiration, they should instead look for purpose, mission, or drive. I really like the word drive. It's used to refer to so many things. It refers to electronic storage devices. It refers to the act of directing an object into a larger object. And it's used to refer to the act of operating a vehicle. Of these definitions, I think that driving a car is the most useful because it's the one that relates the most to mission and purpose. A lot of the aspects of driving a car can be used as a metaphor for the drive we need to accomplish the things we want in life. It illustrates very well how drive or purpose is so much different from just your everyday motivation and inspiration. 1. When you're driving a car, it's a lot like playing tennis or badminton with a racket. The instrument that you're using becomes an extension of your body. When you're driving a car, you no longer think in these terms. Oh, I need to turn the wheel 30 degrees to the left. That way, the tires of my car will turn 10 degrees and that'll cause me to move into the left lane. I'll be sure to check my blinkers and my mirrors as I do this. No, you just think it's time to switch lanes and it all happens so naturally. Not only that, but when you're driving a car, you feel every bump that your car goes over and every turn that it takes, as if it was a part of your own body. In a way, the car is almost as if it was a part of you, which brings me to the first difference between motivation and drive. Motivation is extrinsic, or coming from an external force. Since the origin of motivation comes from outside of you, you actually have very little control over it, so it comes and goes as it pleases. Drive, on the other hand, is intrinsic, or coming from within. You have almost complete control over it. When it comes from within, it becomes almost second nature to wield it. Just like how we think that it's second nature to use a hammer when we're trying to put in a nail into a piece of wood. Your drive is an extension of yourself, and you can wield it to face all of life's problems. 2. When you're first learning to drive, you're very limited. You can only drive when your instructor is with you, and you can only go where he tells you to go. As you continue to learn, however, he slowly gives you more freedom. Still need to go where he tells you to go, but the how is now up to you. Eventually, you become so good that you don't even need your instructor anymore. Then, you become comfortable enough that now you can bring your family with you. And then you can bring your friends with you. Eventually, you can become so good that complete strangers are willing to trust you to get them where they need to go. They'll just innately trust you. There are 2 things to note here. First, drive needs to be learned from someone who already has drive. Just like how you learn from an instructor when you're first learning how to drive a car. Obviously, you can still learn how to drive even without an instructor, but it'll take so much more time and it'll be so much harder. The beauty about drive, however, is that you don't need to be directly instructed. You just need to be exposed to the people who already have it. If you don't know anyone in real life who has drive, we now live in the world of the internet. You can find your heroes and connect with them incredibly easily. And you can learn drive by observing the successful people in the world. And just like when you're driving a car, Eventually, you won't even need your instructor anymore because the skills are already within you. Second, drive leads not only you, but also the people around you. Not only that, being the driver also shields the passengers. Only the driver is the one who feels the bumps in the road and sees the dangers ahead. Everyone else is just along for the ride. Drive is passed on to the people around you. And when you get enough of it, you can be that instructor to the strangers around the world. Driving is just as beneficial to you as it is to the people around you. Unlike inspiration, which only gives you the strength to pursue your goals, drive also gives your family and friends strength. Drive is what lets you lead. 3. The world of driving is completely different from the world of the sidewalk. You use a different road, you follow different signs, you obey different rules. You also go so much faster than the people on the sidewalk, and the rest of the world is designed around your existence. Streets are designed for the fastest travel possible for cars. Drive will let you see the world in a completely different light, where once you saw stop signs, now you'll see new opportunities. And you'll be able to do everything you want and achieve things even faster. 4. The last point is that to drive your car, you need fuel. You'll also need to maintain the car, bring it to the shop every now and then, change its oil, change its battery. To keep your drive, you'll need to stop and refuel every now and then. You'll also need to be able to reevaluate your life and consider what it is that you need to do next, in exactly the same way that you maintain a car. To do this, I suggest that you should try to be more in touch with your emotions. Every now and then, you'll feel uncertainty and weariness. You'll feel burned out. This is perfectly normal. Let all the negativity sink in and then decide to take some time to rest. But then, don't just stay there. Take that time to remember exactly why it is that you want what you want. Are you really willing to let a little suffering now prevent you from achieving what you're aiming for? Then you can go out there with newfound purpose. And if the answer is no, then I guess that your goal really isn't worth pursuing. And you should try to find a new one, a new reason for your drive. Drive is something that eludes a lot of people, but mostly because they don't even know that they want drive. Finding drive can take a lifetime to achieve, and even when you have it, you still have to maintain it. But we can't achieve it if we don't even know that we want it. Stop looking for motivation and aim instead to gain drive. This is VHC Blade saying, good things come in force.